Don't listen to him.
Exactly.
Welcome to KMR Series.
The more
All-Star
wrecks you
Race
have, the better setup you
for
are.
Series 4 at Indy. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get rolling. And I did not invert the field, so don't worry about it. You'll be okay. Just roll
All
with
guns
it.
ready up. Wait.
What do you mean? I'm
Don't
ready.
start,
We are
don't
under
start, don't start,
caution,
don't
mate.
start,
I'm
don't
in
start.
your in-race
What do you
report.
mean? I'm ready.
All guns back out. All guns back out, and then invite him. And then I'll back out as well.
What happened?
Why do you do this to me?
I couldn't see all guns.
Oh,
He wasn't ready up for me. All guns wasn't ready up.
okay.
Hey, Cookie.
Okay. I'm back. I'm back in practice right now. You see me now?
Yeah, you're ready up. Let's go. Let's go. 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 Go.
Hey,
Okay, go,
make
go,
sure
go.
Cookie wants her.
Vamos.
Bumble.
Alright.
What's that mean?
Go.
Hey, Cookie.
Recline.
Can I be your
Good luck,
in-race
let's have
reporter
fun.
after what happened yesterday?
Hey, Jared.
No, we're not doing no
I don't
in-race
see all
reporter
guns
for
in
this All-Star.
Good luck.
We're going
What
over
happened
105, so just know that.
He wanted to have an
The
interview.
pace car doesn't see.
He didn't.
The pace car doesn't see all guns.
Well, the pace car doesn't need to see all guns.
Who's on the front row?
Paintbrush.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Run for our lives.
For this race, we're going over. We have to go over 105.
And we don't have our Cheerio cards this year, so you don't have to be confused.
You will be confused. There are two discount higher pages.
Oh shit, Cookie!
Yo.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's
yeah,
three
now
Twitch
that's something
cards.
I'm not
I like
where you
that.
guys apart from. So, thanks, Professor. Thanks,
All right.
Swappy.
Let's back out.
Cookie, I like out.
Wait.
Back out.
I can't do it in the race. I wanna like. Yeah.
Bastard.
Just take out as many cars as I can.
Well, that didn't take too long. That didn't take too long.
You know,
That's
just take the ice out of his house. I'm about to go home, you know?
Oh my god. That's our 14th qualifier. Just spirit roll.
Well, at least I don't believe destroyed him. I can't remember what track it was, but I was like, I'm taking you out. And then
Darlington.
Hill took him
It
out.
was Darlington.
He decided to
I was
go,
like-
let me just got in there.
He just
It's like,
no,
I
and then
swear, I
he
need to win,
prefaced
so
it
take
with,
you out.
"Hey guys, watch this." He's like, "Hey guys, watch this," and then all you hear is,
And then he's like, hey, I warned him. He's like, hey, I warned him.
Yeah.
"Are we ready?
I think you guys go.
Are we ready, Speed B? You good?"
Yeah, let's go now. Yeah.
That was hilarious. It
Speed
was
B.
wrong, but it was hilarious.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Guys,
I
watch
would
this.
I'm pretty sure I would have got some rule changes after that one.
He made like, he changed like 4 rules.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Let's do
you
it.
took advantage
Why
of the
am I
rules, I'm
starting
not gonna lie.
Well, before you're
Swappy,
fortunate,
we still
not
have
more
some
people
race,
didn't
don't
show
worry.
up.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah, but
Swappy, don't.
Let the disco.
Thank God I'm stuck on the hot side. I can make this move real fucking quick.
Oh boy. Alright. Let's get this car to the end of the race. I ain't even trying to get it to the
No,
end.
let's
Let's
just
just get
get
it to the end of
Let's
the
wreck
race.
it.
let's do it, guys.
Let's
Also-
wreck it 27
Also,
car.
Fracture, please do not turn right this time.
Fractured is NASCAR. You only race left.
Give me some room, Speed. Give me some room back.
Tremendous.
3 wide. Here we go. Yep, we're not gonna survive.
Wow.
There it is.
Cover the code number 1. Or 3 wide.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Hit the
What in the
wall.
world was that?
I hit the wall. I had no room.
Just
I had no room.
Speedy, why did you not go on that start?
Mistakes were made there. Oh.
Hey, what are you doing?
Catching the pace car.
What are you? What?
Hey, pace
Road
cars
closed,
coming
catch the
into
pa-
2. Pace
catch the
cars
pace car.
coming into 2.
Just
Yes, pace
stop
car.
in 2. Stop in 2. Stop
No.
in 2,
We're
Dad. Stop in
catching
2.
the pace car.
No, don't tell them to stop. We're coming at 70 miles per hour. Or we're coming at 100. I'm coming
Well,
at
it'd be
157 miles
like-
per hour. He needs to keep rolling. Keep rolling at 70.
Yeah,
We
okay.
go to him. We need to go to
All
him.
guns, what the hell are you doing?
Hey, Cookie, I had to deadlock up. Just
Hey,
missed you.
holy crap!
Step, you are lagging great.
Oh my god, he is lagging terribly. Oh,
Oh,
Who is that?
Oh,
Guys, watch out. 88 is lagging like a.
Oh god, Stampy's lager cookie.
Okay, 10-4.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
give him
I'm
some
with
room.
you.
Give him space.
He's right in front of me.
Remember, you have to take the service road in and the service road out. If you got this.
Cookie.
Oh,
Down here
what the
because
heck?
of that. Right in front of me.
Just give him some room. Just give him some room, that's all. Yeah, he's lagging
We
pretty
got
bad.
an in-race closure for tonight?
Yeah.
Nah.
Coming through.
Okay.
We got an in-race reporter.
No, not
The road open.
Yeah, pit road's open. Everybody's pretty much caught the pace car.
The thing about Ford on this game, they got this like huge old school shifter. It's like a huge bar, and they gotta push it forward. Oh, it's so great. Such an old school shifter. I love it.
Well, I guess all you
No.
guys can't hit because y'all ain't taking the service route.
well, I forgot to. Dang it.
You don't have to
It's gonna be
pit
a-
the
it's
whole
gonna be a
race.
drive-through.
You don't have to pit.
Oh, I got you.
Oh.
I got damage.
Oh, dang it.
I might
the
as
two
well. I'm
teammates
starting in
took
the
the
back.
chip wrap. Flash Cookie just took him out.
I wanted to
I
pit,
did not
but
have.
you
Ain't
got
nobody
stopped.
say
So
go
is there only
rewind at
one
the start of the
time where the
race. I
pits are
didn't have
open?
any room.
You're
I
only-
clearly had
so
no room there.
bad, buddy.
Is there
I just
only
don't know
one
what happened. I
time
was
where
sitting
the
there
pits
holding
are
my line in
open?
the middle. The next thing I know, I got turned.
Yeah, it was me. Oh yeah, it was
I
me.
almost
I
made it 4
definitely
wide.
turned. But it, you know,
Y'all
it
are
was
like
pretty wide.
4 wide. I almost made it 4.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
I tried actually.
Just
I
take
couldn't-
all the RCR cars
The
down.
Lord on us. Guys, give Stampy some room. He is undrivable around.
That's what I'm trying to do. Sweet sassy molasses.
Cookie, watch
Oh,
out along the
what?
track.
Shoot.
Cookie, watch out along the
That was
track.
lag, Zach.
He just
Are you
lagged
broke?
into-
No, he
He
didn't
just
lag
like. No, he just lagged back into me again.
If you're broke from that pit,
Zach might be
if you're
broke.
broke from that pit. Pit road's still
Zach,
open.
are you okay?
We're still rolling. Okay.
Speed's lagging. Stampy is lagging. Yeah, Dale, don't stop. Dale, don't stop on the track.
Dale, what you
stop the
doing?
track.
What you
Take
doing,
that
Dale?
fracture. He deserves it.
Keep it rolling,
Stampy,
man. Pace
you
car
have
has
a
to keep
copy.
rolling.
Stampy. Is it
Stampy
fine if I
logo.
look at the party to check? Oh, jeez.
Yes.
What the?
Oh yeah, you can tell
Taking
he's
the party
lagging.
for it.
He's
So
lagging.
Right now,
half
there's
the
like
party
fucking,
is connecting. Like,
fucking
there's only like,
Dale, Zach,
yeah, yeah, there's only like
Hair,
3 people
JP,
connected to the party. So
Paintbrush,
red flag,
Speedy,
red flag it.
and
We need to
Speedy
get this
are all
party
connected.
connected again. We need to
Yeah,
get this
you're right.
party connected.
You're right. I bet there's too many people trying to broadcast this thing.
I mean,
No,
who's trying to broadcast this
it's-
thing? That should be legal. I
Stampy's
think
lagging and Speed B's lagging.
the only person I see who's been broadcasting is you, Cookie. So
There, everybody's back. There we go.
you said to get rid of
I
most.
was wondering what was going on.
Can Spirit roll please?
Dale
if
needs
he's not
to
in the
stop.
race.
Alright.
He's not lagging. He's not causing the lag. It's not him.
That's I'm offended.
I am coming
How dare
into.
Dale, you
I'm
need to
turn-
get back
I'm
on the backstretch, bud. You need to get back on the backstretch.
Yeah.
Can I go pit? 'Cause, like I'm broken
Yes.
everything.
Yes,
Guys,
yes,
don't
yes.
move.
Fit.
Don't move. Unless you're broke. Which I need to pit as well. 'cause
Yeah,
I am broke.
Stampy tore my right front all to heck.
So we don't lose our position if we got broke out of that, right?
How about we
Right,
just go one more
right.
lap
You don't
around
lose.
then?
Yeah, we're going around again. Pace car, turn around.
I really, I need the pit because I
watch
was
out,
gonna pit
Dale.
the first time, but I missed
You need a show, Zach?
No, I'm good.
Speedy, can I go to pit road?
Yes.
Man,
You
some
got
people I
damage,
was
you
like,
can
man,
pit.
maybe there won't be caution night.
I don't have damage, but I forgot to pit the first time because I missed the.
Well, then no
coming in.
pit.
No, fine,
Then
fine. I'll wait till next
That's up to
caution.
Cookie,
Don't
not me.
You don't have to pit.
Okay.
It's like the fuel is not going to permit pitting. Like you can go to the end. Believe me.
Cookie, you need to be in front of me anyway, so go ahead and go, because I'll be the last, because I called that.
Got murdered.
Yeah, pit.
Cookie,
I'm really glad.
Stampy absolutely murdered me twice, so I had to come in and fix right front damage.
No problem. I said that if anybody had damage from that, they can come in and pit.
And you get your spot back. So
That would put me in what, 8th?
No. At least
So,
6
pace car,
because you're
get
in
back
front
up
of me.
here. We are exiting 1.
I'm in. I don't know where I am. I think 6th. I think maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're sitting 6.
Yeah,
Pace
6th.
car.
Yeah, because you stayed out.
Okay.
Here you come.
Yeah, so you're sitting 6.
I went. Well, yeah, I went trying.
Nice pace scheme there, pace car. That's a nice scheme.
Should be going green this time, bye.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. Oh, so wait, am I 7th? I don't even.
By the way,
Just stay right there.
this tribute on the
Look
pace
in
car
my
is
mirror.
turning to my
I don't even need to look in my mirror, do I, Sloppy?
Just do like I did yesterday to Speed B that wanted to keep bumping me. I brake checked him.
Hey, Cookie.
Cookie was pace speed.
70, pace speed 7.
There's one thing clean his grill off once or twice, but when he kept doing it every single caution, I just got tired of it, so I just brake checked him.
Hey, Cookie, look what's on the bottom. Lined up, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, y'all are wrecked. We ain't worried about it.
Yeah, I'm incredibly worried, especially after what he said at 4 when I woke him up. I'm gonna wreck you! That's
Oh yeah, now you know he's gonna wreck you.
Just look at the tires.com on the back end and please have some mercy.
That's what's gonna be flying.
Okay, you guys are
That's
you
what your
guys
car's
are in
gonna
control
need
of
after
it
you
at
wreck
the
you.
line.
Alright, we're gonna need some Geico
Yes,
after
sir,
the
Dale.
race.
We're gonna need a cleanup crew. Why
Swift,
are y'all
protect the
hitting the
top.
cones?
I'm trying to clean my tires off.
What did the coach do to
With the
you?
cones?
Yeah, they're cones.
No, I'm
Looks
trying
like
to-
they're all over the
I'm
racetrack.
just swerving
I'm
into
trying to figure out why.
These codes have a family. These codes have a family. Come on. Thank you. Why?
Rewind, guys.
Oh no.
What happened, Sloppy, with the whole, everything you were gonna do to the
The whole,
22?
everything you were gonna do to this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Give me that, give it, gobble.
That's fine.
Cookies, ain't you behind me?
Whatever you're thinking, you bet not.
Whoever helped you race better is what you should be.
I know that weapon everywhere. He has something on his sleeve. Watch out, Cookie.
You mean
been
his
watching
fender,
out.
up his fender.
Oh my god.
Howdy, Cracksher, come here.
I'm 300 feet ahead of you. Really?
Yes, really.
Can we pick up the consequences?
No. He wants to fight.
Inside there.
First of all, you better
31.
catch Speed B and Zach and Swift before you get up to me.
Hey, I'm inside Swift right now. Inside Swift, still here. Swift, so help me God, you come down, and we're gonna have a problem.
Come on,
Okay.
Swift.
He gets it anyway.
Okay, I'm pretty glad.
Oh
Heck with
god.
that.
Oh god.
It's going about as well as you'd expect.
Yeah, you're not wrong about
Hey,
that.
hey, calm down.
Spirit's
Calm
just
down,
listening
everybody,
and
calm
like,
down.
yep, this is probably happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really much different than when I was used to racing. Everybody's yelling at each other, everyone fucking wrecking like every other like 2 laps.
Yeah, watch the language, please.
Oh, no.
Watch the language, please.
Why do I
What a
always worry
cookie!
Fluffy?
I will not have any swearing on my Christian server.
Oh!
Oh, okay, Swift, just block me then. I'm getting under you right here in a minute.
Jeez, this is gonna go bad, guys. Watch out.
Caution, 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 caution,
Yep,
caution,
I knew
caution,
that was
caution.
coming. Caution's out.
Alright,
Caution's
yeah,
out.
we're on the
Caution's
front
out.
Why did you do that?
I need to get this lap time in because it is a flyer.
Thank you. Fluffy, I'm not Swift.
Alright, Dale up ahead and checking out hard. Here's Speed B checking out hard.
Whole front end shot, rear end shot, drivetrain, engine.
Pace car is
everything
out. Watch it. Slow
That's-
Oh,
down.
that's
If
a
your
DNF.
engine's
DNF.
done, that's a DNF. That is a DNF.
good.
Goodbye.
Engine's good. I'm minimal speed.
You just said your engine.
If it's 100% damage, you gone, bud. It's 100% engine damage, you
No.
gone.
Does anyone
My
see
engine,
Sloppy
my-
out on the track right now? Does anyone see him out on the track? If he's going like 75 and like he can't even get going, then that is a DNF.
I'm looking. I'm
Sloppy,
looking
don't
behind
be
me. I
lying.
can't see him.
Minimal speed
I'm
is
looking,
100.
but. Oh wait, he's coming. He's coming. He's catching up.
Oh,
to me.
is that him going at full speed back there?
Oh yeah, he's catching up.
Yeah, that's him. Yes, that's him.
Yeah,
Pit
okay,
road's
so
open,
he's
pit
good.
road's
He's
open.
good. He is good.
Pit road's
He is
open.
good.
Everybody take the surge.
Oh, no,
bro.
I want to kick your hind end for turning my discount tire freaking Ford up.
That wasn't. Oh no,
Your discount wasn't good enough. We weren't saving enough money.
No, I'm about to kick your discount up his hind end.
Pit road's open, guys. Pit road is open.
Let
Okay.
me get a gander at this 3
turned
car.
me.
Brake check me.
I love it.
I wasn't trying to. You're trying to attack me. You turned me. I wasn't trying to. You were going after
that?
Swift.
How's it
Yeah,
going,
you
Dale?
went under me, and I was already underneath Swift, so I didn't have nowhere to go.
Hey!
You came down, and I wasn't trying to come. I wasn't
Get
trying to
the
come. I
pace
wasn't trying to come
car!
up. Alright, if I did hit you, Sloppy, I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't be
Guys,
hitting the base
Avoid
car.
the cones. Dale, don't be
We're not
hitting
even
Now,
the
we need to make sure we
Hey,
the new
hey,
picture
we
for the
ain't
race
doing that
all
today. We
codes.
ain't doing that. We're not doing that.
Seven.
Leave my car
Somebody,
alone.
somebody
Leave my car
keeps
alone.
hitting my base car.
I can hit it from all angles.
You did it my rear
No,
end.
no.
Kitty. You did it my rear end.
I already did.
Come on, man. The car was fine. The car was fine. What
Are we
did my
going?
car
Are
do
we
to you?
going 2 around? Or are you just gonna go 1
Nope,
around?
just one
Yeah,
around.
double
Just
up.
one around. Double
Wait.
it up this time.
Also, who said all guns?
No, because that'll break my car. There you go, Zach. There you go. There you go. There you go. Get him. Get him. Get him.
What is going on over there?
Hey,
looks
this is
you
the
are murdering
last
that
time
car.
where we can make contact under caution like this. We need to make it a memorable.
Oh no! Don't spin the pace car, speed.
What in the world is going on?
I guess we're at it.
Lord, we can't hit the pace car. Don't destroy the pace car.
Take the pace car out.
Good Lord. We're like,
Oh God!
Is it because I'm like a bumblebee here or something or what? I got flat strength against the wall.
No, you're very insulting to look at.
it's sad when the pace car has damage, y'all. It's sad. He going, his top speed is 70, and he's got damage.
His top speed is 70, except for right now his top speed is 50.
It's like pace cars got engine damage, guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
if
pissed.
everybody else was hitting them, I figured I had a chance.
I go into pit road every time to fix my damage.
Turn up,
You know what, Dale? You just need to pull off now, okay? Just get off the track. Hi, Zach. We're coming to the green, buddy. It's not a
Free
good place
wild
to be.
restart. No first time in KMR. No. That'd be crazy. We would never get green flag last.
Come on, Bill, kick in.
We'd get green flag laps in, like, for
The last two.
4 people lap.
It's pretty sad and stuff that I gotta go to pit road every time to fix damage on my Corvette.
Yeah. That is sad. That is really, really sad.
I hit these cones, man.
Stop hitting the coach, they have a family.
I feel like it's pretty
Think of
appropriate.
their children.
Think of the
Think of the
children.
children.
Alright now.
children.
I think you want to do this.
It's the kind of fight you want to get into.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh!
As well as you'd expect. That was lovely.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck?
Caution's out.
Go.
Good job, all guns. You got that.
Chucky, damn it.
Caution's out. You
Alright,
got
big boy. Okay.
Oh, hi, pace car! How's it going?
Sweet, sassy, molasty. That was close.
Cookie.
it. Yeah.
When that wreck happened, I pulled up behind someone. They freaking pipe bubbled right back into my nose and killed my engine. That DNF hurt. My God.
No, you good. As long as
Alright,
it's
because
a
I hit
bumper
pit
glitch,
road
you're
because
good.
they killed it.
Leave
Yeah,
the
it
pace car
was-
alone, guys.
I pulled right behind him, and he just literally shot right back into the bumper.
Stop with all the bullying, guys. Come on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Dale's just like, get
Dale's
away
like,
from me.
I'm gonna pace from the apron.
Alright.
Service roads.
If police
Got a wreck on the
stop
back.
Oh my god! There's a pile up under caution. I ought to count on those DNFs.
Alright,
Oh my gosh.
no more hitting the
Alright,
pace
I'm
car,
about to
right?
watch this broadcast. Like,
Pit
Jesus
pit
Christ.
road is open. Pit road is open.
Like,
that is sad.
My hand
that
is
is
out the
really
window
sad.
more than I'm actually more than my hand is on the wheel.
I'm surprised the pace
You
car
alright
can
there,
still move. He's got to be broke.
It's like it's a new Star Wars episode. The pace car fights back. The pace car strikes back. The pace car strikes back. 70 Dale.
You can hear
The
Dale.
car strikes back. I like that.
I hear you, big guy. I see it.
We need to bring the Dominion up against the pace car.
There you
How
go.
about this? A
No,
pace
it's the
back in-
board.
How about
Dale
that?
will still win.
No, try that. Wait, try this. A pace back in
So-
time. A pace back in time.
Speed was involved in that. Who's all involved, right? Like
Speed B.
I was. I'm still good.
And there's some
I
other,
missed it like a
some
bomb.
other wrecks that happened back there too because of avoidance. There, that will be.
I just
considered
got lagged.
Well, yeah, that
I
doesn't
I killed it
count.
like a
but
bomb.
whoever
I was about
was.
to say,
Is it pretty
we were
sad?
being the car in front of me. We were just going right by it.
He has
and
more
next thing you know,
damage on his
he
car than
lagged
mine
right back
does.
in front of my bumper.
Stop
Speed.
wrecking the
Motor.
pace car. Ah.
Come on, guys.
Come on, the man has a family.
Is it pretty sad that my transmission drive line is at 100?
Oh,
Yes,
yes, that is
yeah,
actually
that's
very sad.
That's been.
It really is sad. That is very, very
Jeez.
sad.
We need to
Why
we
my-
need to get the replacement pace car, except for it's got to be a
Why,
Ford.
like my dear Aunt Betty.
Say what?
All right, I want speed. You have photo bag
Yeah,
on the
long
bottom.
story.
So-
I only
Wait,
run
hold up.
Menards.
Cookie. Who was all involved?
Swift, get up
Go
here.
up there, Swift. Go up there.
I know it was
I
Speed
only
B in
run
the two,
Menards
for sure.
on M15.
What about me? I wasn't involved.
You can have
either.
him if
Where
you
am I-
want him,
wait,
though.
Where am I supposed to be at?
No, Speedy, I missed you. I went down below the apron.
Wait, where am I supposed to be
I saw
at?
the two car. saw the two cars.
Oh,
so I
do
know
not
he was
like,
involved.
I don't like where I'm
The
at.
3
right
to
now.
24 to 2.
RCR on top of me.
Where am
RCR
I
behind
supposed
me.
to be? I
RCR
missed
behind
the
the guy at
rest.
the top. Come on, Ford people. You're giving me a heart attack with, having these RCR guys around me. I don't like it.
Hairbear, hold up, Hairbear.
Here, have a cone.
No, thank you.
Hairbear, we involved.
Here, have a sign.
Okay, I'm trying to ask everyone
Fan,
who was involved.
fan
No one
throws
said
like a
anything.
needle gun out in the track and it pops all of our tires.
There's so many goddamn
Ex-cop throws a spike strip on the racetrack.
What is? We
I think those cars are speeding out there.
Yeah, they're speeding all. We're not a police car coming on down.
All
off
right,
the
come
track.
here.
Code red.
I gotta say, if it's
Twitch,
speeding,
Twitch. I don't like
down, the
Twitch,
profession's
people.
kinda
Stop
quick.
showing me Twitch. Yeah, you heard the man.
Hey, I didn't tell him put Twitch on the car. Twitch is on my car.
You had something to do with it. Here you go, Cookie. Now don't wreck him.
Oh no!
Yeah, I tried to wreck him.
What did we just say?
Oh.
He said don't wreck us. You had one job.
Out.
You had one job, Cookie.
Oh my.
Welcome back to NASCAR Under Caution.
Hair Bear,
You
get
heard-
up here.
Oh,
no!
Cookie.
Cookie, really?
You know?
Yo,
Hair Bear.
yo,
Here, Bear.
the first hit on the wall
Here, Bear.
didn't do it. The second one.
Oh yeah, we gotta catch up. You're second. You need to get up here. Get past speed.
Okay, hopefully this is token this time.
Well, now Cookie becomes commentator.
Yep, commentator Cookie.
And he can
And
make
me-
sure he can check telemetry as well.
And
Oh, yeah, go
leave
point, yeah,
the
go point.
pace car joke
So we have
out
two
of the
jobs.
commentary.
We know. Trust
Where
me,
is
we know.
Where's the
Make
pace
sure
car
you
at?
bring out your best pace car jokes.
The pace
Yeah,
car's
we're
on the
pace-
backstretch.
Oh, well,
Pace
we're,
car, alright,
entering through one.
Holy
Listen,
crap!
Pace car, you've been through enough. We'll leave you alone. We'll leave you alone. Pace car. Alright, the pace
Pace
car's been
car's
through
right
enough.
up here.
Let's
Check it
move
apart.
along.
Check it apart. 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 Hi, Dale.
Down as his run. Hey, how's
Whatever
your
Cookie,
you
you
do,
gonna
not
leave the
listen to what
party
he
and
says if you
commentate,
wanna-
or?
Yeah,
what?
I'll leave the party and commentate. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Fun.
well, so,
fun is that?
so how we gonna, never mind. So how we gonna tell us if,
You got another official
He
there
can
with
text
you,
me.
so you're good.
He can text me and let me know if someone's
Oh, okay.
DNF'd or not.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
he has
okay.
my number too.
Same here.
Have fun, guys. And so, welcome to back to 105 The Drive All-Star Race, in which the 28 car of Cookie, that's me, just wrecked out. So, that means that we have only a few cars remaining. We have about 7, I want to say, cars remaining. No. Let me see here. With pit road being open, we have 8 cars remaining in the All-Star race out of about 10. A couple lag outs. We're riding on board Hair Bear, who's sitting second place. Has worked his way back up there, coming to 10 to go this time by. Has worked his way up to where he needs to be there. And Hair Bear, of course, we know is looking for redemption after yesterday's rookie versus pro race, in which he just absolutely dropped the ball. I mean, he looked like LeBron James out there. I mean, all you LeBron James fans, you know, not hating on LeBron, you know, he's an awesome player and everything, but it just at the end, it was obvious that the ball was dropped on his as well as the whole team's part. Not going there though, we're talking about racing, so he's looking to redeem himself and get to victory lane. He's got stiff competition this time. Not a bunch of rookies and pros out there. This time there are veterans and champions. He's lined up next to one in Fractured Chain. You got Speed B in the 3, or in the 24 out there. He ran last week. We got All Guns. The RVP winner is still out there, and he's in 6th, coming to the green flag, guys. We'll ride on board the 43 for a little bit longer. We also have the 33, our champion now, in Speedy. And the 3 car of Paintbrush. We also have the 31 of Swift. That was the car that took me out. So, having said all that, let's get ready to rumble. Now our pace car out, brought to you by Corvette. Beautiful, awesome looking Corvette pace car out there. And he's a cool story. He's been wrecked a ton here. The cars have just been having fun with the pace car, you know. But you know, some Days of Thunder stuff out there. But anyway, he's finally got that car fixed and pulls off, and we get ready to go back. Green flag when they go at the line. 10 to go left in the All-Star race. Stay tuned and hope you enjoy. Here we go. Green flag. And the 3 car very quickly moves the 43 up the racetrack, and now he's gonna dive low, and Paintbrush is back in there, and he's got Speedy trailing him coming into turn 2. Fractured Chain with a little bit of distance. Speed B in 2nd. And Hair Bear falling fast. He's got the 2 car of Slothy that has just bumped him, and just like that, from 2nd to last place, just like that. Wow. All right, let's get on board the 33 of Speedy, who is riding in 4th place. We see YouTube on the back of that car. And side by side with his teammate, the champion, trying to get past and maintain 3rd place. They're still side by side there. Now he gets the pass there. He's going to hold it. Let's see what the crossover comes. No, it does not. 33 is going to keep that position, at least for right now. On board. Nice in-car shot of the driver. And here comes the 3-car inside. 3-car inside, or yeah, there he is, side by side with the 33 once again. Gonna take it low. They're still side by side. He's gonna clear them. And Paintbrush gets that spot back. And coming into the corner and fourth, and now looks to maybe drop again. Allgun's having a really good race, a really respectable race. He's running 5th. And we talked about his uncanny ability to just be there when stuff is, you know, getting ready to happen. He's just there. He's always there. And when stuff goes down, he has been good enough to capitalize on other people's mistakes. He's running pretty respectable. He's got Slothy, his affiliate teammate for last season, with him still now. And Paintbrush in the grass. That's a mess up. And here comes Speedy right back at him. He's going to take that spot right back. Give me them duckies. Speedy driver up to 3rd. Let's look at other drivers. Let's go Fractured Chain up here. And Fractured Chain just having it easy. He is just so good at Indianapolis here. He is driving away from 2nd place right now. It's just once he gets in a rhythm in that discount tire 22, it's impossible to catch him. And he is definitely in one of those rhythms. Got some right front wear. Well, now right front and left front wear, but he just, look at how smooth he is. And coming into it in the corner. Greases the wall just a little bit. And what we see here all of a sudden is Speed B is making a run at this thing. And I think that has something to do with the greasing of the wall that he did. And now that gap between those two are closing, but they got a 4-second gap on the rest of the field, guys. These two are in sync, and we've got a spin in the back. We've got a spin in the back, and that is Hair Bear that is in trouble back there in the back off the straightaway. Or at least that's what it looked like. No damage there. So maybe it was just your lag. Maybe it was just lag that was there. And we've got a battle here for 5th and 6th place. Let's see what we got here. On board the 31 of Swift, riding Menards and Twitch in that purple 31, and looking good. Also, Interstate Battery is on there as well. He's trying to hold off. That almost just narrowly hits the wall. Let's see what effect that's gonna have on Sloth. Yep, there goes Slothy around him in the deuce. So he's gonna take 5th, and Swift drops down to 6th. So let's see if he goes and tries to get him back here. Into 1. Coming into 2, and this is where Slothy kind of loses a little bit of speed. Swift is able to catch up just a little bit. And on the straightaway, look at that speed on that slingshot. Let's go on board the 31 car. And you see the 3 once again making that mistake, going too low, hits the grass there. That's 2 cars ahead of you, sitting in 4th place. On board the hood view, and you see Slothy trying to be on a mission. Swift almost hit the wall again and loses a ton of time and speed. As a matter of fact, Yeah, he's got some significant damage to the right front there. Some damaged springs and everything. Hit the wall a ton. And that will take him out of the running right now. Unless we have a caution. Back on the battle. Oh, no more cautions actually. Back on the battle, we're going to go the rest of the way. Green flag here and on board the Twitch number 3 car now. And he's doing everything he can to hunt down Speedy, our defending champion right now. And doesn't look like that's going to happen. Coming up on the white flag here. 2 to go right now. Let's see if he's able to catch him. In the meantime, Fractured Chain up ahead, and he's going to win this race here. But out of the exit of 4, loses just a little bit of time there. Speedy able to pull away. And for Paintbrush, he can't relax any, because if he relaxes just a smidgen, there is the 2 car ready to take advantage of that situation. Oh, it really got to run there. We're going to have a battle. Here comes the 3 side by side, a battle for 3rd. The champion and the runner-up. Into 3. Paintbrush has it. Speedy runs high. And Speedy now is in danger of giving up yet another position here. Here they come to the start finish line. Fractured Chain is your winner. Speedy 2nd. And Paintbrush is going to take 3rd. Speedy 4th. 3:33. How about the Deuce in the top 5? 6th place goes to the 31. No, 6th place goes to the 43. And then the 31 who had that damage. And then, of course, the 21. Don't know what happened to him. And then the pace car finishes 9th. Awesome all-star race, guys. It was fun to be out there again, and the Cookie Monster continues his run of not finishing any Indianapolis races. Run continues. 4th straight race. He has been unable to finish the race. It is so unfortunate. In any case, it's over. And we'll get in touch with our race winner right now, as they are just abusing the pace car. What is going on? Wow. Okay. Let's invite in here our winner of the all-star race, Fractured Chain. Fractured, man, congratulations on winning that all-star race. What was it like out there for you, man? You pretty much did what you normally do at Indianapolis, drive away from everybody.
Well, I didn't have much practice coming to this, so I didn't know how I was going to go with those cautions. I really felt like anyone had a chance, and speed was breathing down my neck for a little bit, and I just knew if I make a slip up, this could get pretty bad. And then I hit the wall on in between 1 and 2, and he caught up quite a bit, but I just had to hit my marks. And as soon as I figured out how to get into 3 and get into 1, I was pretty set for the end.
Yeah, man, it was fun watching you out there. Now, you know, the big question that everybody wants to know, you know, moving forward, we know last season, how would you describe last season for you personally, coming from beginning to Daytona 500 all the way to Homestead? How was that season for you?
It was an up and down roller coaster, I'll say that much. I didn't really like the transition going to 15 at first, mostly because I wasn't used to the game and the connectivity issues we weren't used to, so it just made it not fun. But I decided to stick with it, and I'm glad I really did.
Yeah, so now the question, you know, that many, you know, superstars and people face when they're at the end of a contract or at the end of a season, and they have to determine what they're going to do next. Now the question is for you, what's the next step coming into this off season? What's the next step for you?
Scout out the teams is what I'm really doing. After the qualifier, I'm gonna see what the teams look like and how I stack up in them, and see if anyone wants to give me an offer. If they don't, and I'll be having my focus solely on the 500, which is what I'm looking at right now, is the Daytona 500. I can't wait for the practices that are going to be upcoming for it. Just get more knowledge on the 500, get back into the swing of things. But it was a pretty good season, and I wish I could have won more races. I felt like I had a car to win more races, but hey, that's how KMR's ran for a while.
Yeah, man. So could this be the last official fully ran season that we see Fractured Chain in KMR?
We'll see. I'm gonna take it week by week and see how it goes. But right now we're just gonna go on a week-to-week basis and try to bring home a championship this season.
There you go. Fractured Chain, our all-star race winner, and also congratulations to Fractured Chain because he is also our MVP for KMR last season.
Let's go.
Great job, man.
I'm back.
Great job. And so you did everything but bring home a championship last season, so it's going to be interesting to see what new look.
I'm used to it by
and
now.
what new look and what
after it happens a couple times.
New run. I want to ask you this one last question. When you say you're hunting for teams and everything, does Ford winning the team points battle or the skills challenge, does that give an appeal to any Ford team when you're looking at, or possibly give an appeal to remaining at Penske, re-signing for Penske at least one more season? Is the team points an appeal for you at all coming in there?
Well, first of all, I need a teammate that's going to be there every week, and Slothy doesn't sound like he's going to be there every week, so if anything, I kind of want to, what I want going in the off season is a team that's going to have the commitment to go in there every week and race. I don't want Slothy to come in there every other week and run like 1 or 2 races, maybe lag out one, get discouraged, don't run for 3 weeks. I don't want that. I want a man that's committed to drive as my teammate. That's the kind of driver that I want on a team. So.
Okay.
In plans of teams that I would like to see people get going, I'd like to see Roush get a run at it if Ford, but I don't have any interest in Hendrick. But that's really the only full Chevy team. I'd like to get into RCR, but they're full. But it's whatever. I mean, I want more people to contend with RCR like I was. I mean, I felt like I was the lone wolf going against those guys last season, and it was definitely a lot more challenging when you don't have any people to help you out there.
Yeah, that can be a daunting task. It's almost like the Golden State Warriors going against Cleveland, you know. That's Cleveland does. But anyway, we're not going to go there. I'm probably going to lose half of my fan base talking about basketball, you know. But anyway, Fractured, we wish you the best, man. And welcome to the off season, and we'll be keeping our eyes peeled on what moves that are made. As any deal, including the Fractured Chain, is a big one.
I stick around for these Daytona practices that are broadcasted throughout the off season as well. Get into those. If you don't run KMR and you got Forza 6 and you don't have an Xbox 360, that's fine. You can run your way in through the dash and get yourself into the 500. But if you don't have a 360, that's fine. You can run the Forza races. Get in, man. It's a blast. Show up to these races. It's always a great time.
Definitely. And we thank you. We're going to interview some more people in here.
Fine if I stay in here?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
All right. I'm going to go get something to eat, though. But thanks.
Yep. And we're going to invite to the party a man that if I don't invite, then he's probably going to kill me. So we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. right, Slothy. Fractured is not at the mic right now. But what's up, man? Fifth place in the All-Star race. You tried to get up there. How did it feel to be out there running at Indy for those 25 laps, man?
It's my Daytona car.
Yeah. You know, this past season I know wasn't easy for you. This is probably one of the first times that you've ran a full season to KMR and not at least been in the top 10 in points. Wasn't an easy season, but you stated at the end of the season, last season, coming into this off season, that you were dedicated to coming back next season and running the full schedule. So what's your mentality, first of all, from a singular driver, and then second of all, as a team coming into next season? What's your mentality?
Find somebody to drive the 22 for next season, I guess. I already know I got the Daytona locked up. I got allies to work with. I've been talking to a couple people. We can get everybody together, and I've been talking to work together. Daytona 5.
Okay, you heard it here first on KMR 105 The Drive. Slothy, what about individually? You know, you had a rough season last season. How do you rebound from last season coming into this season? How do you rebound?
Whenever last season was a difficult season, we first was on heat 2 and I was dominating. But whenever we switched to 15, back to 15, I've been having connection issues. So this season I'm gonna work more harder. But this season, I'm sorry about this, but Speedy in the car 33 is going down with no championship. If I have to pass him on the last lap to win the race, if it comes down to a tie.
All right, pretty big words. And we look forward to seeing whether Team Penske can back that up. Now, Team Penske won the skills challenge, plus 10 for your team in the team points. How important is that? How important do you think that is for your team?
That's big. That gives us the points advantage going into Daytona as the Owners' Championship right now.
Yeah, so how do you plan on using the team points that you got?
I'm using them, like if one of my drivers on show, I'll give them a point or something. But most of them's going for the team championship. I'm going after that team championship and the regular championship.
Lofty goals remain the same for Slothy, who's back in black. We thank you very much, Slothy, for joining us in this segment, man, and we wish you the best throughout the rest of the season, or through the off season
I'm
and
mad
into
at
next
you.
season. Y'all can discuss that later.
No.
We're under broadcast. Y'all can discuss that later. Slothy, if you back
We'll
out
have
of
a
the
private
party, we're
conversation.
gonna invite someone else in to have a conversation with. Yep. And let's bring in now someone who had an opportunity, a big opportunity to get things done out there, and it didn't quite culminate into what he expected, but has an opportunity here to be in the Daytona 500 and have an opportunity to run. Let's bring in the bear with a lot of hair, the driver of the 43.
Truthful as it gets.
Hey, make sure your audio is included so we can hear you. And all right, Hair Bear, so what's going on, man? You had an opportunity to win the RVP, it slipped away. You were on the front row on the restart with about 10 to go in the All-Star race. Take us through what happened, because we saw you drift pretty fast to the back of the field. What happened out there, and how did you have fun out there on the racetrack?
I pretty much had like confidence, but I had too much confidence and blew away. So yeah.
We watched you all in all over the season. We noticed a big difference between the Hair Bear that 2-3 seasons ago was coming in through every qualifier, and the Hair Bear now, who is now starting to set a trend of locking himself into the series. You're into next season. You're into the Daytona 500. However, your seeding in the 500 is not a guarantee. What's your thoughts coming into this off season for you setting up for next season, especially the Daytona 500?
I mean, staying in the 43 car for 2 more years, having a teammate will be a lot more, like getting more spots, like getting more top 3s, top 5, top 10s. I'm just really hoping for the next season will be great, and yeah.
Do you feel any pressure coming into next season? Do you feel any pressure as you think forward? Okay, I got to run the Daytona 500. I got to finish in the top 8 in one of those dash races to make the 500. I have to, because I'm not locked in now, I have to make sure that I'm not overtaken by any hot seat drivers throughout the course of the season. Now I've got a teammate, so that means I'm a team captain. I have to make sure that I'm doing, taking care of my team. Is there any pressure when you think about those things? Has it set in yet?
I mean, the only pressure is the road courses in the season. Just need to work on the road courses, and probably the Daytona, hopefully make it through.
Yeah, definitely. So locking into that 43, having a teammate now is going to be a new experience, man. And so we're going to keep our eye on you. And but what an awesome season you had last season. Been able to get in and run in the top 10, basically top 10 to top 12 in the series all season long, including the transition, which is one more question I want to ask you for last season. How was that transition for you when the decision was made to transition back to N15? What was running through your head, and how do you think it went the second half of the season?
I mean, it went well going back to 15. Pretty got a good couple top 10s, maybe a couple top 5s. I pretty had a good car, but yeah, it was a good season going back to 15.
Well, we're gonna check in with you later, Hair Bear. Thanks for joining us, man, and enjoy the off season, where we know that you are putting in a ton of work to get yourself ready for that event, man.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.
Yep. Let's talk to the driver of the 24. He finished second really fast at Indy. So we're going to see what he has to say about his season, last season, and heading into the off season. Of course, the team captain for Hendrick Motorsports, taking over after the departure of pretty much everybody on that team, and now he's taking over in that 24. And so we'll get a chance to see what he has up his sleeve upcoming. Speed B. There he is.
Hello there.
What's going on, bud?
Um, not too much. Just another second place finish.
Okay.
Take it.
Yeah, there you go. That's one way to look at it, huh? At least you finished the race.
That's true.
Well. Look, man, your last season, you started off pretty hot. You got a couple wins, and then there was a transition, and then all of a sudden, electronic issues, things like that started to happen. Take us through the last half of the season, man, for you, and how everything culminated.
Well, yeah, the first half we had a great start, but when we got to the second half, going back to N15, never really done much racing there. It was just mainly a learning experience for me. I didn't expect nothing big, considering you got a lot of guys in here who had more experience than me on that game. So it was just a learning experience. I learned a lot though. Learned a good amount. Just going to bring all that learning process and momentum into next season.
So, let's talk about next season because, bruh, you got in by the literal skin of your teeth into locking into next season. So you don't have to worry about a qualifier. You also have teammates, which is great. So what's your mentality coming into next season for you as a driver individually, and then for your team, Hendrick Motorsports, coming into next season?
Well, for me, it's just obviously it's gonna go win races and hopefully maybe a championship. Like that's always a driver's at least one win. That'd probably be like one of the biggest goals we accomplished. But yeah, just get all the cars into the playoffs. But we already know two of them for sure won't, because they're gonna need a. Well, right now they won't because we need a sub for them. But we could get like the 3 full-time drivers, me including 2 more, into the playoffs and all that. I think that'd be great for our team.
Yeah. So, you're looking to fill that team and everything. Coming into the Daytona 500, you're one of those individuals also that has to, be in the top 8, finish in the top 8 in one of the dash races in order to qualify for the 500. Does that add any pressure to you? Because you, as well as another one of your drivers you've got to get in that was listed as Stampy, who's got to run a qualifier in order to get in to the next season and even have a chance, or run the dash race and again finish in that top 8. Does that run through your mind at all? What it's like, I got to get this done? You feel any pressure from that?
Yeah, we got a bit of pressure, but considering it's Daytona, it's been grateful to us the past season. I have like a good amount of confidence, but just gotta stay out of trouble in the dashes. That's mainly the main goal if I want to get into that top 8. But for Stampy and the other guys, I feel like they just gotta do the same. Just be careful, not getting involved in anything. We might work out a team thing just to bring us all out of safety, out of trouble and into safety, just to get us in the top 8. But we'll work something out. But it's Daytona. We've had fast cars last year, so hoping get big things and really not a lot of pressure.
Okie dokie. Well, we're gonna keep our eye out coming into the off season. We know you're gonna be busy filling those spots and getting that team together and everything, and being one of those teams for next season that is prepared to get things done. So we wish you the best in that regard, but we'll talk to you later.
Yep, thank you. Yep.
Okie doke. So as you can see, there are a lot of teams, a lot of drivers getting ready. The off season has officially begun, so keep your eye out on the website, thegamingrift.com, for more. And now let's bring in our analysts for the series and see if we can get some information in and discuss what we got going on for next season. So we're gonna bring in our two big analysts, or at least one and a half. Let's see. He got off. Okay, well we'll bring in our other analyst then. We've got Dale Jr. It's one of our analysts here.
Hey, what's up, Cookie?
What's up, Dale? And we've also got Paintbrush, who's also well equipped to be an analyst and a fellow driver. What's up? So you heard it here first. Drivers looking forward to the off season and next season. You got some drivers in the loop or is into question as to what their off season is going to be like and what rides they're going to be in for the 500. And you got some looking forward to it, knowing exactly what they're going to do and being locked in, can prepare for the 500. Guys, what are y'all thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts coming into the off season?
Well, one of two things right now with Hair Bear, as you were saying and everything in the cast before, he has definitely changed from 2 to 3 seasons ago to where now he's automatically locking himself in. But his Achilles heel is still going to be road courses. I've seen it in the past and everything, and I've seen it a couple times on the YouTube channel. He still struggles on certain road courses. To what I've seen. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong.
What's your thoughts?
Well, drivers that aren't locked into the Daytona 500, I feel like they need to have some practices off season, getting some good practice with each other, and see if they can make the top 8 in the dash. It's gonna be a big race, and a lot of tempers might flare.
Yeah, man, can you imagine that, the pressure of coming in and knowing, unlike last season, the dash race was pretty much set in stone. We had some DNFs. Remember, you had Ghost Train who had just transitioned to CMR, and he was driving that 8 car, DNF'd in the dash. You had Dale, who was driving at the time the 4 car in the dash, DNF'd, but you had the safety blanket. You knew, okay, I'm in the 500. I'm just gonna be in the back, but these guys here, we could have 16 in both races, and only 3 drivers in each dash are guaranteed to be in it no matter what, and that's the 3 that are gonna be on both sides are gonna be locked in, because of being in the top 6 in the championship run in the final round. But everyone else, outside of that top 3, if you finish outside of the top 8, if you DNF, that's it. You're going home.
It's like you were telling Hair Bear, he's locked himself. He doesn't have to run the qualifier. He's in the 500. But then what you said was your spot's not guaranteed. There's anything could happen and stuff with the dash. It can, the qualifier. He could automatically be knocked out and stuff, even by a hot seater. I plan on running the qualifier and stuff, and I'm not guaranteed. I could knock him out,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things could change and everything, to where, I don't know, I don't want to say personal things, but I mean, look at me, with the merge switching to NASCAR 15. I was not able to run that half of the season. So a lot of things could change.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's flash forward real quick and let's see. First of all, how would you grade, going back to the All-Star race there at Indy, how would you grade the All-Star race? In your opinion? We've had about 4 of them now, and so we've had one at Airfield, we had one at Homestead, we had one here at Daytona, and then we've had that one there at Indy. How would you grade that one in your opinion?
I really liked this Indy race. I would probably rate it around 8.5.
Out of 10?
Yeah, out of 10.
Do you really want to hear my grade? I was the pace car. I was getting knocked all over the place. Come on. No,
from what you could see.
From being a driver that's, the airfield was fun and everything because we had tire barriers, we had to dodge, a wall, and some of the racers and stuff when we did airfield, cut corners by going in the inside instead of around or whatever. Homestead, Daytona, they're both round tracks. Indy is a squared oval. You got 4 corners, you got 2 back stretches. No banking hardly ever in the turns. So, if I were to grade Indy, I would say probably a 7. Whereas you go to Daytona, you've got that 33-degree banking that's inclined. You've got the turns. You've got a backstretch. Homestead, that's a championship track. They use it for championships. Come on. I mean, it's not an all-star track. You want an all-star track, go to Charlotte. Something that's a mile and a half. NASCAR has done this over and over again every year from Atlanta to Charlotte. Which is which, On a game, it doesn't really matter where the all-star is, especially if there's an all-star challenge. You're playing tag for crying out loud, trying to damage people. I mean, if you add degree of difficulty of, okay, who cannot lose a tire in the process, you should have a battlefield at airfield. That's awesome. Even though I missed playing in that, I heard comments that it sounded fun. If you do an all-star race at Indy again, probably bump it up to 40 laps instead of 25. Tonight and everything, the all-star race had more comedy and stuff because I had a bullseye in the back of my Chevy Camaro, or, race car. So, I mean, you were out of the race, Cookie. I think Stampy wrecked out of it. You took out 2 major players and stuff to race for an MVP. I mean, Fractured had what? Almost a 3-second lead on second place.
Yeah. Well, at one time he did. And then it started to dwindle just a bit. But well, we know that next season's All-Star race will be at Le Mans. We know that. So that's going to be our first road course, second road course All-Star race. Of course, the tag will still be at airfield, but Le Mans will be the All-Star race, and not this Le Mans that I'm at, but there's another one that will be running. I haven't wrote down, but that's going to be crazy.
I'm kind of sounding like Stephen A. and everything that analyzes basketball, and I'm analyzing racing. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
With a target on my back and everything as a pace car and stuff, I felt abused and tortured. I don't know if that sounds right or not, but
you'll be right. Yeah. But all right. So, what can we look forward to for next season, guys? What do you think next season's gonna be like? What do you most look forward to?
Well, the thing that I want to see is what Fracture was talking about the other night. You've got basically 7 cars that are, Stewart Haas affiliate, even though there's only 4 cars that carry that team brand, and
RCR,
3 of them are, or RCR, yeah, that are affiliated with that group. If we get, those together on a team, I look for next season and stuff to be very competitive if they, practice and yes, I said the word practice, next year or next season, they're gonna have to do some practices because you're introducing a lot of new tracks, especially road courses. A lot new road courses are coming in next season. So, And I'd like to see what Hendrick Motorsports is going to do. I want to see how he feels that team. You know?
Yeah.
If he gets the drivers and the mentality and stuff that they show up every week, they could be a threat. And then give RCR and everything a run for their money.
Yeah. Paintbrush, what about you?
I feel like it's going to be a lot of practicing going on in the off season, definitely at road courses, because we didn't get to race that many road courses last season because of the switch to N15. So people lost their road course talent probably, and they're gonna have to rebuild it over the off season or during the season next season. And besides that, they're gonna have to challenge on a couple of tough road courses during the season, like the Nürburgring and a couple other challenging ones to test people's patience and see how good they are on road courses.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I was thinking, talk about losing skill. If you need any evidence of what losing skill looks like, just pay attention to the stream, because I just lost it right there. All right, but anyway, so.
Oh yeah,
you know, I was thinking about that too, as far as the teams are concerned. You know, I think that you can't underestimate at a certain point in the season. You can't underestimate the battle within seemingly RCR, the full expansion, all 7 drivers. You can't underestimate the battle that's going to go on within the team itself, because RPM could get to a point where they, you know, are in that points battle. You know, then all of a sudden, RCR is just another nice driver out there. They're still going to race hard. They're still going to go for a championship. Jermaine, the same thing in that 13. You know, Beloved get in position where he can strike. Then he's not going to say, well, that's my teammate. He's going to say, I'm going to get this thing, you know. And so at some point, even that battle within themselves, we saw RCR take each other out plenty of times through the season, last season. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens
Phoenix.
there. I'm curious to Dover. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see though what happens over there with all of these Ford teams now that Ford has won the skills challenge. I'm interested to see what happens with these drivers that are in the off season that decide, like Big Red, will he decide to make some move? Will he decide to stay over there in the 17 and drive that? Because I mean, they got the skill, they got the team points now because of the skill challenge win. You know, what will Slothy do with filling his rides? Just a lot of questions. Now that 21 is vacant, who is going to pick up that team? You know, it's going to be a lot of questions that are going to have to be answered. I like this track.
You know, to get back to the thing that you were saying was on races being ruined for teammates and stuff. We've seen that and everything the last 2 or 3 seasons, Cookie, where teammates would knock each other out, or you know, the big wreck and everything at Daytona. I mean, look what happened to me and stuff in, you know, making the 500. I wreck on the first lap and get flipped, you know? I mean, we've seen it in the past. It's always going to happen. You just have to look out for it. I mean, it's happened.
Yeah. Okay. Final question of the day, guys. What track do you look forward to next season? What race do you look forward to running next season? And why?
I have to say Kansas.
How many Kansas races are there, first of all? Which Kansas race are you talking about?
Which Kansas race? There's like, what, 5 of them?
Okay. Something like that, yeah. All right, so why Paintbrush? Why Kansas?
Because last season I swept them. I won both of them. I showed dominance at the track, and I can't wait to go back there.
Dale, what about you?
I'm gonna say first and foremost, I have got to conquer Daytona with the qualifier or the dash to get in. I've had so many issues with either wrecking on the first lap or, you know, I mean, the flip and everything still haunts me going into turn 1 and 2. Fractured always says if you can make it past 1 and 2, you can make it through the race. I have yet to make it to the backstretch.
Hey, Cookie, you're at my favorite track right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this race right here is gonna be my favorite because of where it is in the season. So many people, people that are not good road course racers or don't care to race the road courses, what they'll do is they will try to do their best at the ovals, and then they'll say, okay, well, I ain't gonna worry about this last race. But it's in an elimination.
I do apologize.
place.
I cut out. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's in an elimination area. I mean, it's the last race of the round of 12. So you can't afford, you don't have the luxury of saying, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to go on about my business. We don't know where we're going to be in that period of time. And we know how hot seat affected what happened in this time, this playoff time with Mordecai and Hammer and Destroyer and all of those guys coming in and winning races. So we don't know what it's going to be like this time. And we could come to a point where the top 12 chasers didn't win in the round of 12. It's the last race. And somebody's in a bad position in points. Now they've got to go to Nürburgring and try and win. It's gonna put so much pressure on everybody. It should be a full house, which is gonna be fun too. And it's just all about survival. Driving, through the woods, trying not to hit any deer, trying to, avoid the walls and tire barriers and stuff.
I didn't know we were going to be trying to hit wildlife and stuff on a racetrack.
Well, wildlife come out here, it's going to get hit. I mean, that's my mentality. If it was brave enough to come out here, it's going to get hit.
Well, that's like Jeff Hammond dodging Darrell Waltrip and stuff, trying to break his car into pit road. I mean that is considered wildlife and stuff every time he tries to hit him, so I guess that would be the same. It's just hitting a deer instead of a human.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
well, the all season officially begins, guys. All season officially begins from Paintbrush and our official analyst Dale Jr. This is Cookie saying good day. That's what I'm saying to this car that I just wrecked. Good day. And we'll talk to you guys later on 105.
Have a good night.